Welcome into Phoenix Breathwork, the podcast, Breathe to Rise. My name is Jessie and I'm your host. I'll be using this platform to share the power and magic of breathwork and to empower you to be able to transform your life as much as I have mine. I will share my experiences and will be inviting on some incredible guests to share their stories too. Look forward to guided breathwork practices and meditations to help you explore and build your own relationship with yourself and your breath. Get settled in and enjoy what's to come. Make sure to like, share and subscribe if you're enjoying the content, and I will ensure to keep creating more. I hope you are inspired in some way. Let's breathe to rise. Hello and welcome into episode 2 of Phoenix Breathwork, the podcast, Breathe to Rise. I'm Jessie, I'm your host, and today we're going to be talking about how it is okay to slow down with the seasons. We are halfway through November right now here in the UK, and it is cold, it is dark early, it is generally raining, and this can make us feel like we want to slow down. And, there's part of us that's, that primal energy in us that's wanting to hibernate and go into hibernation, prepare for winter. But we push against it. We push against it and we keep going. So this is to remind you and to give you permission, for you to give yourself permission to slow down with the seasons. Now, of course, life is still happening. It's not that we can actually go and hibernate in a cave for the winter after foraging our berries and nuts, but it is okay to start to take on a little less, start to rest a little more, and really up the self-care. It's important because we can get caught in the cycle of life and on that treadmill and keep going. It's the same routine. And even though it is getting darker and colder and our bodies may want to rest a little more, we continue at the same pace. And this is where it starts to cause us a bit of discomfort and it becomes harder for us to manage. So I'm not saying that you have to pull back from everything, but just look at where you can start to put yourself a little bit more in the front line. Not in the front line, put yourself first. So, maybe try and see if you can go to bed an hour earlier. You can wake up an hour earlier. It's getting lighter in the mornings. Try to not say yes to everything. You do not have to say yes to everything. Yes, we have our responsibilities. Yes, we have our commitments when it comes to work, family life, other things we have to do. But we don't have to do everything that we're asked. We don't have to attend everything we're invited to. So really start to pull back. Really be mindful of what you're consuming. And that is not just food. It is, of course, trying to eat healthy and still eating your veggies, drinking water, but also be aware of what you're consuming around you, things that you're reading, conversations that you're having, programs that you're watching, the news in particular. Try to limit that a little bit more. This is just going to help you to manage your well-being and allow you to wind down easier at the end of the day, to promote that relaxation and help you to sleep better. It's a great time, well, any time is a great time to really look at your daily practices. Look at what you are doing or what you can do to help support you day to day. Now, I will talk to you a lot about a morning routine or a daily routine of some sort and help you to start implementing some of the healthiest habits you can have. And being a podcast all about breath work, I am going to encourage you and support you in trying to build that daily practice. And it starts just by having some awareness. It starts by listening and paying attention. Because when we're on the go all the time and we're busy, we become so focused on what we're doing that our attention is always directed outward on, responsibilities, tasks, things that need to be done, that we go into that autopilot and we aren't paying attention and listening to the signs that our bodies are giving us. So it's only when we stop that our body's like, oh, thank you, and then goes into major recovery mode. Has anyone experienced that when they've maybe gone on holiday or taken some time off, that they tend to fall ill? Then it's because they're being on the go all the time that you have to then, your body doesn't have the chance to repair and restore every day like it wants to, and it builds up. So it's about encouraging that practice where you can, and it's just going to start by paying attention. So let's do a little bit of that now. Let's do a little bit of that now. So just wherever you're listening to this, unless you're driving a car, then maybe just pause this for later. But otherwise, I'm just going to invite you just to sit comfortably where you are right now. Get comfortable. If you're sitting on a chair with your back supported, if you're lying down, whatever you're doing, sit comfortably. Close down your eyes if you're comfortable enough to do so. And let's just take a nice deep breath in first of all. Letting it go. Keeping those eyes closed down if you can. I'm just going to invite you to bring your awareness within. Bring your awareness within and just notice your breath. Observe your breath. Follow your breath in as you inhale. Follow it out as you exhale. Just observe what you're feeling, what you're noticing. As you do this, you may notice the body start to soften, so allow it to soften. Drop those shoulders, relax the back, unclench the jaw. Just let the body soften. Let yourself be held by the surface that you're sitting on. And then just come back to your breath. And at any point, if you want to take a deep breath or yawn, do that as well. And then just come back to what you're noticing about the flow of your breath. Is it flowing in and out softly, gently, like a wave? Are you noticing any pausing, any tightness, any tension? Is it a bit jagged? How deep or how shallow is your breath? What muscles are you using to breathe? Just notice. Just notice. Listen, observe, and feel. When we do this, we may be surprised, but we may receive some answers. Because we always know what we need. Our body's always telling us. It's just sometimes we can't hear it. And if we can hear it, sometimes we don't listen. Take a moment now just to be with your breath. Just breathing in and out. Know for this moment, all I need to do is breathe. Now take a nice deep breath when you're ready, gently in through the nose, as deep as you can. All the way to the top, and then just letting it go. And then just when you're ready, you can just start to bring your awareness back. Maybe have a little wriggle, a little stretch. Blinking open those eyes if you did close them down. And just take a moment to really process anything that you noticed. What did you notice about your breath? What did you notice about how you were feeling when we began to how you're feeling now? Are you feeling any different? Are you breathing any differently? Did you hear any messages? And when I say hear messages, it's just what's your body telling you? Is it telling you, okay, I feel good, I'm energized, I'm ready to go, what's next? Or is it saying, can you slow down, please? I'm a little tired. Can we have a breather? I'm a little hungry. Have you drunk enough water today? Can we stretch? You haven't moved. We've been sitting for a long time. What are you noticing? It's really interesting that we can go on every day without checking in with ourselves and noticing how we're feeling. And then we don't want to get to that point where we're like, okay, now I've got some time off. I've got this great trip planned. But then, my body's like, no, this is my time to rest now. And so it impacts us in the way that we hoped it wouldn't. But it needs to recover. We need to recover. We need to allow ourselves to slow down. Life can be busy. It's a wonderful, wonderful life. There are so many things we can experience, but don't put yourself at the bottom of the list when it comes to self-care, because you need to recharge so you can continue doing all these wonderful things and looking after people if that's what you're doing as well, responsibilities. It's okay to give yourself permission. Now, we just paused for a moment to check in with how we were breathing. Now, whatever you noticed with your breath, was it short and shallow breath, or was it quite fast? Was it slower and deeper? Were you breathing in your chest? Were you breathing in your belly? What type of things did you notice? Because the way we're breathing is actually directly reflected in how we're feeling and how we're showing up in the world, which I think is pretty cool. So there are some typical breathing patterns, which I'm going to expand on at some point during this podcast. But for now, there are some typical breathing patterns, which are sometimes mostly breathing in the chest, mostly breathing in the belly, or mostly breathing around the diaphragm in the middle, around our solar plexus. And they can indicate types of behavioral patterns, or just the way that we're showing up in the world because of what's going on for us at that time. Even though these are quite general breathing patterns, our individual breathing patterns are completely unique to us. So actually, our breathing patterns are as individual as a fingerprint, which I think is the coolest thing I've heard. And this is something that I have been trained to observe and analyze your breathing pattern to see exactly what your breath is doing, where it's flowing, and what that means for you, where you're maybe holding a bit of tightness or tension, where that's maybe impacting you physically or mentally and emotionally, and to then work with you to open it up and release that. So with this breathing awareness exercise we just did, I'd like to guide you through a short breathing exercise you can start to build into your day-to-day. If you can just start with the breathing awareness, that's brilliant. If you can just pause to do that a little bit. But if you have time and you'd like to, you can also practice just some gentle breathing in and breathing out for an equal count. So when we do this, this is a form of coherent breathing. An equal inhale and exhale can help to regulate our body, help to regulate our nervous system, and bring us back into a state of calm and balance. Now, if we can do this, this is really going to help to support you. And the more you do it, the more you're going to notice when you need it. Okay, so I'm going to invite you just like we just did, to sit comfortably, and I'm going to guide you through just a minute of coherent breathing so you can experience it for yourself and then try it out when you can. So sitting comfortably, closing down your eyes again if you wish. We're going to breathe in and out through the nose for this exercise. And we're going to breathe in for the count of 4 and out for the count of 4. Now for this, we can increase it to 5 and 6, but I think 4 is a good starting point. So see how you go, see how it feels. Just taking a breath for a moment. Allow your body to soften and relax. We're going to start by gently exhaling and breathing in through the nose. 2, 3, 4. Breathing out through the nose. 2, 3, 4. Breathing in. 2, 3, 4. And breathing out. 2, 3, 4. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, really feeling the lungs expand. Breathing out, feeling the body soften and let go. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4. Breathing out, 2, 3, 4. Breathing in and out. Just continue on your own count for a moment. And as you do, just notice as you breathe in how it feels. If there's any tightness and tension, that's okay. Do as much as you can. On the exhale, just let the breath softly and gently leave the body as though you're letting go. Just following that breath in and out for an equal count. Notice how it feels. Allow the body to soften and just focus on the breath. Now I'm just going to invite you to take a nice, long, deep breath in again. And this time just sighing it out of the body. I'll do that one more time. Nice, long, deep breath in. Letting it go. Bringing your awareness back gently. Blinking open those eyes whenever you're ready. Having a little wriggle and a little stretch if you need to. Take a little sip of water if you need to. We did that just for a minute or two. And I want you to check in with how you're feeling. How was that? Just breathing in for 4 and out for 4. This can gently start to bring you back into balance, back into your body, because we can spend a lot of time in our heads. We're so overstimulated these days and we're switched on all of the time that it's important for us to come back to self, to check in. How are we feeling? What do we need? And listen to our bodies and give ourselves permission to slow down. Like I said, it's a great time now to slow down with the season, but it's something we should be implementing all the time. Just checking in with ourselves and seeing when we need to take a bit of a time out for us or just nourish ourselves a little bit more. And our breath is a great guide and it's a great tool because our breath is telling us a lot. Depending on where we feel tightness when we breathe, depending on how fast we're breathing, how shallow we're breathing, this can all tell us different things. And mostly if it is a faster, shorter breath, we are very much in our sympathetic nervous system, which is our fight or flight response. So it could be that we're quite busy and we're quite on the go and we're very much in our heads possibly. So it's about slowing that down, deepening the breath, really taking those diaphragmatic belly breaths and starting to engage our parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest and digest state. So we can function and show up in the world from a place of calm and clarity. And this can take time and practice, but what I've shared with you today is a good starting point. Just some breath awareness and some gentle, coherent breathing. Let me know how that was for you. And I'm going to encourage you to do this every day. Yes, every day. We did this for a few moments and it's just really, really powerful if we can check in with what our breath is doing at different times of the day. When we wake up, how is our breath? When we're, on the morning commute or school run, how are we breathing? Before a meeting, during a meeting, whatever is coming up for us, if we can check in with our breath, it's a great indicator of how we're feeling and what we need at that time. So it's something just to start to build into your general day-to-day. Okay, so that is our little something to share with you today to enable you to slow down with the seasons, to start to put yourself first and to nourish yourself a little bit more so you can start to show up from a place of real comfort and clarity and power, and start to really reconnect with yourself, your body, and your breath. I hope you found that useful. Thank you for being with me for this. I'll be sharing more, and in these podcasts, I'll start to share more breathing exercises you can try, some guided sessions. So if you enjoyed that, let me know in the comments, and I will do more of these. And if there's anything in particular you would like to know, then also do let me know, and I can share some of that as well. But for now, enjoy the slowdown and start to connect with your breath. And thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening today. If anything resonated, then let us know below. And if you've enjoyed what you've heard, then please remember to like, share, and subscribe so we can keep reaching more people to spread the endless benefits and transformations we can experience through breathwork. I'll see you in the next episode.